Alright, we once again enter the cage! And we are talking about one of Nicolas Cage's most recent films, Color Out of Space, an H.P. Lovecraft film, or story, an H.P. Lovecraft story put to film in the most fantastic way. It is directed by Richard Stanley, who hasn't directed anything since he got fired from the 1996 remake of The Island of Dr. Moreau. It stars Nicolas Cage, Joely Richardson, Madeline Arthur, Brendan Meyer, Julian Hillard, Elliot Knight, Josh C. Waller with Priyanka Chopra, and Tommy Chong. And follows a family who lives on this rural farm when a meteor hits and shit goes down. So, much like Mandy, but probably not in the same way as Mandy. It's not as jarring as Mandy. There are some very good, very, very well done things done with the cinematography to make this. I mean, there's still that purple hue to it, but I think it's not as jarring as Mandy, And Nicolas Cage gets more dialogue here, I think. And if you think, he might be a little more subdued. No, Nicolas Cage gets to go full Cage. At some points, being almost vampire's kiss at some points. There's a scene where he's got these fruits, they're vegetables or whatever. He's got a peach and a tomato. And it's after this meteor has landed and the stuff is infected, and he says, "Oh, these things are growing fast and a month early," and then everything is rotten, and he's just like spitting into the sink. That's Nicolas Cage. There's a freak out. He has a freak out in a truck when he can't get to start. He starts yelling, "Cocksucker! Cocksucker! 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 Jump back there! Run!" It's Nicolas Cage. You're gonna expect that. So what happens is this family lives out middle of nowhere, basically. They raise alpacas because they're the animal of the future, apparently. And they grow these vegetables. One night, and this guy Nathan, that's Nicolas Cage's character, he has a wife, and he has 3 children. Benny, Jack, and Lavinia. What kind of name is Lavinia? But I don't know. She kind of reminds me of Breck Basinger from, Stargirl and stuff. She kind of looks like her. She's a little older, I think, but she kind of reminds me of her. But, in this meteor lands, there's this other guy there who is doing research on stuff. He's got a shirt that has the same university as the Herbert West goes to in Reanimator. There's a, hint there. There's a connection there. And, he's just walking around observing the land, and, he meets Lavinia, tells her to go away, or she tells him to go away, basically, and he does. But he does have conversations with Benny and, Tommy Chong's character Ezra, who, of course, is a pot-smoking hippie, because it's Tommy Chong. What other character can he play? There's several instances where, you can see that Ezra is figuring out that there's something going on. There's a scene where he's he named his cat G-Spot, and there's a scene that one could be him warning, but also kind of a joke for G-Spot, I'll look out for your cat. I'll look out for G-Spot. Even if you find it, you won't recognize it, which could be, warning, oh, it's changing my cat, but also it's hard to find the G-Spot. But, there's an incident in which the mom, she starts, she's cutting carrots, and you're watching this, it's going, and it's going to end that way, and she slices 2 of her fingers off. I do like the shot where she turns and she goes, "Dinner's ready." I'm just like, well, no, it's not. because she was still in the middle of cooking it. But it's a funny line, I guess. I guess she works, I don't know, real estate or something. She's making deals in an office that's in the attic, which, office in the attic and a house in the middle of nowhere. Courage the Cowardly Dog. And it is. It's just an attic with a desk and a computer on it. And I'm reminded of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I'm sitting there when stuff starts happening. I'm like, clearly you should go up to the attic and talk to the computer, because it always has the answer, right, for Courage the Cowardly Dog. Lavinia is a Wicca, if that adds anything. She does this weird protection ritual, and I guess we're supposed to believe that the meteor comes because she called it, maybe? Because, it starts to get worse when she has a book, the Necronomicon, but it says Necronomicon on the book in English. I don't think it would be in English, but I don't know. She reads from it. I think that's a little bit too on the nose type of thing. She reads from it, she starts to mark her skin. Everyone starts to act weird. Nicolas Cage gets more erratic, the mom starts to act more strange, and then the colors are fantastic coming out there. And then there's one night, time starts to be weird, Benny says he went to find the dog, and then instantaneously it was nighttime and he was walking back. I can't remember. There are instances where Nathan is talking to someone, but they don't, there's no one else there, but it can be sort of explained later. I don't know. So that night, one night, right, they hear a noise in the barn, and this creature has started to assimilate with the alpacas and stuff, much like the Thing. And this light comes out, and the mom goes to save Jack, but they get fused together, also like the Thing, and apparently they don't like sunlight, even though I don't understand. I don't know. There's a scene when Nicolas Cage is in the shower. He finds this weird little creature thing, and it puts these tentacles out. He's like, throws it down. He's like, there's some weird shit in the shower. There's some weird shit in the shower. But just yeah. So now his wife and his son are fused together. He moves into the attic to get out of the sun, even though there's a window up there, so I don't know. And this is where shit starts to go down. Benny hears the dog, which is, remember, gone missing, in the well, which is where everything is affected. The water is infected. This thing has infected the water. There's a radius, but where the meteor hit, which disappears at some point, and they somehow don't believe there's a meteor there, even though it was covered before, other people saw it. Ward also tries to talk to the mayor to stop this dam from being built, because it's going to cover the water supply for the entire eastern whatever. But of course, she's going to make her money. She's not going to listen. So eventually, Ward and the sheriff, they go out to the house, but we'll get there. So Benny hears the dog in the well, tries to get on the well. Light comes up, simulates him, he's gone. So Ward gets there and he finds Lavinia, and she is far gone. Nathan has also lost it, as he's locked Lavinia in. I forgot about this part. He locked Lavinia in the attic to feed her to the now transformed mother. When Ward gets there with the sheriff, he acts like nothing's going on. Well, where's your wife? Where's your kids? What's going on? And he's like, oh, no. Eventually, they hear Lavinia screams. They save her, and Nathan is forced to shoot the creature, his wife, And then, I believe it's a misunderstanding, because he comes out and he aims it like he's going to shoot the color from the well, but the sheriff thinks he's going to shoot Ward, so the sheriff shoots Nathan, Nicolas Cage, He's dead, although he does come back for one last attack, the hallucinatory attack, whatever. And so Ward and the sheriff decide to go get Ezra, and he's dead. And then, as they try to run from Ezra's land, the tree creature grabs the sheriff, kills him. Ward now runs back to get Lavinia, but she's all fucked up now. With this right here, that shot. You see that shot, and you were waiting for it because it shows it. And I'm like, oh, I know where this is gonna go. And she smiles. She's infected, and she like dissolves. And Ward goes back into the house, and he meets like these hallucinations of the entire family, including one of Nathan that chases after him, and he ends up like Nathan dissolves again, and Ward ends up in the basement. The whole thing explodes, and Nathan survives, and then it's like a burnt, charred out explosion. So we're assuming that it's gone, but then we cut to later. The dam has been built, and we're led to assume that it's over, but Ward still says he's not going to drink the water, and there's like a pink hue in the sky, and there's a little creature that kind of flies on the screen. So it's hinting that something is still there, it's not done. Especially since they built this dam over the land, so something's, gotta happen. Overall, pretty good flick. The cinematography is pretty good. I do want to complain though. Like, I know they just use regular tomatoes and peaches or whatever, but like, it's supposed to be rotten. But when he's biting out, you can see the inside. If they shot it where you can't see the inside of the tomato or the peach, that's fine. But you can see clearly inside. It looks like a regular peach. Like, you could say, oh yeah, it looks normal, but it might taste terrible. Yeah, but earlier in the film, when the mom is making dinner, she cracks an egg, and you see that it's bloody and nasty in there. So, if it infects something and makes the egg look like that, the fruit should also have some kind of appearance. I felt like maybe they cut corners with that. We'll just have to eat the fruit and say it's nasty. You don't want to spend time. The other fan, maybe that's where they cut corners, because the effects for the assimilation are very good. I believe they're practical. They look practical. Maybe a little CGI in there. If there is, it's very good CGI, because it looks all practical. To me, at least. Especially with like the way the colors come in and stuff. Maybe that added to it, but it looks good. And Nicolas Cage's performance, I thought it was going to be more subdued, but this is Nicolas Cage at his best. At least he's not running around saying, I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire. Am I getting through to you? No, fantastic. I got to give this an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this film, and I do recommend it to you wholeheartedly. Again, though, like Mandy, it might not be for everyone, especially with the visuals. Visuals on Mandy were a little more psychedelic, but there's still some kind of color things. But there's still the shiny cover, slip cover. Yeet. But yeah, definitely recommend it. 8 out of 10. So we're getting this is the stack Nicolas Cage I got left. 2 of them are collections, but plus there's other ones on streaming services and stuff. But Nicolas Cage will never. Enter the Cage will never stop, because he's never going to stop making movies until he dies. But, yeah, so what are your thoughts on Color Out of Space? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.